of that. And I think we are still in the user number go up phase, but like you're seeing this now with OpenAI, right? Like huge amount of people adopted their platform and now they're like, okay, we're thinking about running some ads. So like everything comes back to ad technology. Google is an ad tech company, Meta is an ad tech company. Like once you get out of the big, we've got loads of users phase, you're like, what can we do with them? Because we can't get more people to buy subscriptions or pay for a software, you know? Fundamentally believe that once you get out of the adoption of most things, like user adoption happens really quickly and then there's only so many users you can get on a platform, that point is when advertising becomes like the number one way to monetize anything. WeTransfer did this really nicely. Like they just wanted people to use the platform to send big files to one another, and there was a point where you're stuck on a screen looking at your file, your window rolling up, you're uploading whatever it is. That presented them a really nice opportunity to create an ad product because like you have a full page, glossy interstitial, no one else is going to be able to buy that ad unit, and they created a really effective ad product off the back of that. And I think we are still in the user number go up phase, but like you're seeing this now with OpenAI, right? Like huge amount of people adopted their platform and now they're like, okay, we're thinking about running some ads. So like everything comes back to ad technology. Google is an ad tech company, Meta is an ad tech company. Like once you get out of the big, we've got loads of users phase, you're like, what can we do with them? Because we can't get more people to buy subscriptions or pay for a software, you know, like Netflix is doing it now. Spotify did it, you know, like big platforms. So like will Uniswap start with a similar experience to WeTransfer start to think about how they monetize? Like will people like Lens and Farcaster, once they get to critical mass of users and that number starts to slow and people are like, what are we doing about revenue because no more new users? It's like everyone goes, oh, we can monetize it with ads. And I think that we will see that happen from this cycle, is that like the user adoption happens and then platforms will be like, oh, maybe we should think about another way we can make money that's not just from fees, because that's kind of flattened out after a period of time. It's like we have insights around the wallets that are using the software, and then you don't need to know who that person is through a zero knowledge roll up, but you know that that person has, I don't know, whatever, like has Bitcoin in it, has Ethereum in it, might have a particular NFT. Like that's quite an interesting bit of information for someone to be like, okay, well, I'm Cathay Pacific. I'm trying to sell business class flights. I'm looking for wallets with more than $100,000 in them, or wallets that have traded more than $500,000, because that might be someone that's more likely to pay for business class, or the Four Seasons might think that, or whoever, you know, like the best identifiers for ads online, which is what the game is. It's like, who are you advertising to and how can I get more people that are within the audience that I want to target? Come from something that wasn't designed as an identifier. So it's like cookies were never supposed to be an identifier. They just remembered what you'd put in your basket or whether you'd logged into a platform, but also could store information about which websites you went to. So if you went to 20 sports sites, it might be interesting for Nike to show you an ad about their new pair of trainers. And then mobile phones came around, which had a device ID, which was even better than a cookie because it lasted for more than 30 days. So you could then have a better attribution model because you might have kept a phone for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And that's what allowed Meta to be so successful, was they had such tight attribution models, and the App Store blew up and other apps could like say, okay, we can spend $7.14 in market A and we will get a user that delivers us $10 basket value. So we make $3 for every 7 we spend. Device IDs disappeared because Apple said you can't really play with these anymore. They only really live in Android. And now what you're seeing is like people creating wallets that don't necessarily tie you to an individual. So there's no personally identifiable information. So it's pseudo-anonymous, but can be used to send more targeted ads to individuals based off of the information that's in that wallet. And that wasn't supposed to be that. It was just like, you use a wallet to access blockchain, So people are like, I want to access a blockchain.
Yeah.
And then once you get past this loads of new user phase,
Yeah.
people will be like, oh, we can retarget ads based on wallets. So that's my prediction. That's kind of what we're preparing for and building for, is like, let's have the rails to send wallet IDs to buyers if they want to be able to buy certain wallets that have interacted with certain chains or products or whatever it is, and help people make money, basically, because it will happen.
Yeah, I think interesting, like advertisement isn't going away, but how you're coming at it from a first principle thinking perspective and applying that to the space is interesting. And I think wallets is interesting. We're investors in Ethermail, which is like targeted advertisement for wallets. Yeah.
It's sadly, advertising kind of pays for everything. It's like the best business model ever, as much as you might hate it. But the right ad at the right time can be quite useful.
As long as one person doesn't own everything.
Exactly
Open
right.
versus close argument.
Yeah, certainly.